Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the 24th edition of the Virtual Leadership Seminar by Youth Impact Movement. I'm John Samegashibiglo, the Executive Director of Youth Impact Movement. Let's start with a word of prayer. Almighty God, we humbly beseech Thee to look with favor upon this movement as we round up for this 24th edition of the Virtual Leadership Seminar. We invite you to bring your presence to anoint our guest speaker, Mr. Hubert Agbaxode, to speak to us on financial planning for young professionals and impact us as a whole. In the name of Jesus, Amen.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you once again to today's program. I can see on our virtual chamber the Speaker of the Fourth Parliament, Right Honorable Adam Osman. I can also see the most vibrant then observer, now Youth MP as well, Mr. Duchi, and then Mr. Confidence. I welcome all of you to this great exercise. The Virtual Leadership Seminar is a far-reaching program that we hold that is at the convenience of members, utilizing the technological advancement that is present today. And as you know, it is not only that we need to sit physically before we can get impacted, but we can as well gather online and then have an impact from these seminars at the comfort of our zones. The first one was held back at 2022, 20th January 2022, and today we are still ongoing. We are hoping to reach the 100th edition through various of our guest speakers that we may have. Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be having our guest speaker speak on the topic financial planning for young professionals. It's in the sense that as young as we are, without having a financial plan for our lives, we'll live and then retire in debt, or we'll end up with an attitude of borrowing and never paying our debts and having bad credit scores. And as young people we are, without a financial plan, we are basically on our way to HELL. And that is why we have our guest speaker, Mr. Hubert Agbaxode, who is also the majority leader of the Fourth Parliament. And he's speaking in his capacity as president of Adido, Virtual Leo and Lions Club, to present to us on this particular topic, the virtual planning, the financial planning for young professionals. And may I, on this note, call onto the floor Mr. Hubert Agbaxode to present to his people. Mr. Guest Speaker, your audience. Audience, your guest speaker. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Executive Director of Youth Impact Movement, Mr. Jones. Amagashi. And then good evening to each and every one of us on the call this evening. So it's just fortunate that when I was 24 years old, I joined Youth Impact Parliament, and today I'm the one doing the presentation at the 24th Virtual Leadership Seminar, the 24th edition. Yeah, so just to kickstart, as our executive director stated, I'm Hubert Agbaxode, the current majority leader for the Fourth Parliament of Youth Impact Parliament, and equally oneself in the Third Parliament as the minority leader. And then currently, I'm the president for Adido Virtual Lions Club for the 2024-2025 service year for Lions Club International District 418 Ghana. And I once serve as the financial officer for Technical University SRC 2021-2022 administrative year. All right. So zooming into today's virtual leadership seminar topic, financial planning for young professionals. So as we all see, we are all young individuals coming up, and some are yet to land their first job, and then some are still uh, on the way getting their first income. So somebody will ask, why financial planning? So we must set an objective. So the objective for this particular seminar is
I think we are losing our guest speaker just a little bit. Mr. Hubert, can you hear us? We can't hear you. Yes, Mr. Hubert, can you hear us? Okay. He'll be back soon. He was introducing himself in the various roles he has served. And worthy of note is that he joined Youth Impact Parliament when he was 24 years, which means he's around 28 now. And coincidentally, he's the person doing the 24th edition of the Virtual Leadership Seminar. Welcome back, sir.
all right. Thank you very much. That's just some technical hinges there. So today's virtual leadership seminar is entitled Financial Planning for Young Professionals. And then the objective that we intend to derive from this is to equip young professionals with foundational financial knowledge and actionable tools to make confident, informed, and financial decisions. So that's our main objective of this particular topic that we are having today. So as we delve into it, somebody will ask, why financial matters? Is it that essential? Somebody will ask, I'm not earning anything. Is it necessary for me to actually partake in this virtual leadership seminar about financial planning? Yes. Each and every day we make expenses, whether you earn wheresoever the money is coming from, whether it's salary or somebody gave you the money. You all have to budget for it. So today we are diving into something essential but often overlooked, and then financial planning for young professionals is something very key. If you lose the basis going forward, it will be very difficult for you to adjust yourself and make some cogent decisions when financial matters comes in. So whether you've just started your first job, a few years just into your career, or now still figuring out what to do, financial matters is very key in each and every one of us our life, and we have to take it very seriously. And now the best time is to take control of our financial future. This is the time for us to take control of our financial future, how we want our future to be. Whether we should be somebody, I saw somebody's status today say how you plan your life today is going to give you whether when you grow you'll be playing a draft or you'll be playing a golf. So just that's just on the flip side. For that game, we all have our best that we all go for. So why financial planning matters? We all know the rising costs of living nowadays. Things are skyrocketing each and every day. And without planning, I don't think you'll be able to live in this hard time. And we all see the increasing student debt. You see that a student comes and then probably you don't plan, so you are pushed to do some, let's say, unnecessary expenses that probably will push you into a debt. And another one is what? uh, Overspending on things that actually don't matter. So for all these things, you must segregate it, things that you plan to do, either short term, medium term, or a long term, whereby we see the short term span within 1 year. Yes, that's for a short term within 1 year. And then for a long term, we can see, for a medium term, we can see between 3 to 5 years. And then for a long term of planning your financial matters, definitely would have to be 5 years and above. That's for planning based on short term, medium term, and then long term. I will come back to that. So going forward, you could all see probably the things that we spend on daily basis when you come to our houses, in our various homes, the things that we spend on. When you probably each and every day you travel in and out, your expenses based on TNT. And then probably when you are growing, you definitely have to plan towards your retirement. That's also one thing that we have to take into consideration. I'm just touching on one or two things for us to lay basis on some of the things. Okay, so going forward, we have some building blocks of financial planning. Some one of key things that without them, your financial planning is meaningless. So what do we mean by the building blocks of financial planning? One is budgeting. When you say budgeting, what do we intend to say, or what do we mean? Budgeting is just a forecast or a plan on how you intend to spend the money that you receive or your income, and then matching them with your expenses. So let's say I am Hubert, I receive 1,000 cedis every month as my income. I have to budget how I use that money, that 1,000 cedis, so that it's within my means. I'm not even supposed to spend more than that 1,000 cedis, because that's what I'm receiving and that's what I have to spend within. We also have savings. It's one of the building blocks of financial planning. Savings. You can't do in life, you have emergencies. You can't do without savings. You can't be in life and then say, okay, me, whatever I earn, I have to spend everything and then live, and then tomorrow is another day that God will provide. No, we have to save towards unforeseen circumstances. Emergencies do come each and every day. Things of contingency nature. We have to plan towards all those things to make life better for us. And also, we have something called investment. Somebody will say, what is the difference between savings and investment? No, your money can be lying in your savings account, but when you put same money in an investment account, it yields more income to you as compared to savings account. So when you are saving, you can equally be thinking of investing part of it. So you save a little, you invest a little. I've touched on short term, medium term, and long term. We have the investment, we have short term investments, medium term investments, and a long term investment. Those ones all are based on individual preferences and what you want to go for, or how you want your money to work for you. So those are some of the building blocks of financial planning. Also, we have debt management. How do you manage your debt? Do you put pressure on yourself, accumulating unnecessary debt on yourself that you can do away with? Some of the debts that we accumulate on ourselves are needless. They actually want things that we can do without. That in a way we bring those things to ourselves as debt, and we are not even able to manage them. We have an insurance, so going forward you can insure your life, your property, or whatsoever. It depends on your age, and then you can seek the advices of the professionals on how you can insure either your property, your life, or whatsoever that you are insuring against. And then I've mentioned about retirement plan. It's also one of the building blocks of financial planning. That's why government, when somebody you are working for somebody, it's mandatory for that person to pay you a SNIT, which takes care of you in the future. So retirement planning is equally very key in our life. You can't plan, or you can't say your children's retirement will be care of you, saying that when you grow your children will take care of you. No, at least you have to have something down for yourself that you can live on in your old age. So those are some of the building blocks of financial planning. I've mentioned budgeting, saving, investing, debt management, insurance, and retirement planning. So let me just touch on some of the building blocks. Let me speak on budgeting. What are some of the budgeting basics? We have some rule called 50, 30, 20 rule. 50, 30, 20 rule. That's budgeting basics. So the 50, when we want to apportion it, the 50 goes with needs. We have needs, things that you need for your everyday. My needs probably food, shelter. Yeah, basically those are some of our needs as human. Wants, I can touch on airtime. Is it a need for me to have airtime, and if I don't have airtime or I don't have bundle, I can't live? No, I can do without airtime, I can do without bundle. Life still continues. But for food, which is very key for your survival, you can't bargain it with any other thing. So when you look at the 50-30 rule, and then we have savings. So the 50% of your income, you can apportion it to your needs. So when you are budgeting, these are some of the techniques. When you are budgeting, you budget 50% of your income for needs, 30% of your income for your wants, and the rest of the 20 you save it. And for the savings, you can either decide to put it in an investment account, or probably put it in your savings account, which probably might not yield you enough income at the end of the month or the year. So those are some of the budgeting basics that probably when we are budgeting, we should take key interest in. And if probably you don't have an accounting idea and you are asking yourself, how do I even go by all these things that Hubert is saying? In this modern era that we are in now, there are applications, a number of them, that can help you based on how the information you input. You can go by 50, 30, 20, 40, 30, 30, based on your needs, your wants, and your savings. Somebody will decide to apportion a greater percentage between the wants and the savings, Somebody will give a greater percentage of the to savings as compared to wants. That's what we have: individual preferences. So some of the applications that will make this work very easy for us is Mint. We have one application called Mint, MINT, and then we have one application called INAB, which is YNAB. It's also one of the applications that can ease us with our budgeting skills, things that we can uh, budget towards when we receive, or when you are planning of receiving money. And some of the things that we do and put pressure on is and then spend when they need to be. Another one is creating an emergency fund. Nowadays, contingencies of this nature, we can fall on those money and sort out whatever that is happening for us. So Salom on the call can bear with me. Somebody will just type, I need this amount. I need, but money that you say you don't have, it turns out to be you are stingy, or you don't like giving, or those kind of. But ideally, you plan for it. You plan for your money, how you intend spending your money, and you've created an emergency fund, or probably a contingency fund for your money. Things of this nature probably we overlook, even though somebody will ask, the money is not even coming, so where do I even get the money to even create something for call an emergency fund? No, something little, even if it's 1 cedi, 2 cedis that probably you take out of the bundle that you buy in a week twice. You can take those money, put it somewhere, and those days that you will need it most, those are the money that will save you. That money will save you. When you save the money will also save you one day. So we have to be very skeptical about some of these things that we merely overlook on this basis. We mostly overlook some of these things. Somebody will ask, what is it, and why it matters for somebody to have an emergency fund. So probably we are young professionals coming. One day you start receiving your income, even if you intend doing work for yourself, even if it's your own company, you pay yourself. So those monies that you are paying yourself, probably you have to use it judiciously. You have to plan for it. Probably within 3 to 6 months, you can track it. 3 to 6 months of your expenses, you can decide to apportion some of them for this particular emergency fund. You can do the calculation. You know that okay, between 3 and 6 months, this is how much I spent. So probably let me also be putting some money aside for days like this that I might probably not be found wanting. When I fall on other people, it will look like they also not have, because you know the
Yeah.
economy that we are in. You have to be very intentional and strategic about what you use your money on, how you spend your money. Somebody will ask, probably your emergency fund, you are not even supposed to put it just in a savings account. Probably how you act towards, or your appetite towards risks. Are you somebody who is risk adverse? Are you somebody that can take risks anyhow? Like let's say somebody can just put his 200 cedis on 2 cedis odds and then stake bets and don't care the outcome. Things of this nature, you can decide to put that money in a high yield savings account or a investment account that probably will yield more income for you as compared to savings account. So some of these things you just have to take care of it. And then another one is managing debts. Yes, I've spoken about that one too. Some of the debts that we bring upon ourselves can be avoidable. They are not something that is a need. It's not something that you cannot avoid or do without. Let's say I'm planning of going for a vacation. Probably I'm in Ho and I want to go for a vacation and I'm choosing Sky Plus whilst my house is in Ho here and I'm enjoying my peace of mind in the house. Can't I avoid that? Going on probably a vacation, let's say you are on leave, so you want to go on a vacation. You can easily avoid that. Probably if it's you going far away to have some relaxation as compared to you being in Ho again whilst your house is in Ho, it's not ideal. Things of this nature, debts of this nature that we accumulate on ourselves, we can do without them. So we are young professionals coming and we are obliged to lay a solid foundation for our financials. If we don't take key interest in how we spend our money, those unnecessary expenses that we make will teach us how to spend the money, and then we are now coming to be a debt that you cannot even recover, or you'll be in a very huge debt that each and every day you'll be battling with finances. Some people, you ask yourself, how do they even live life? Is it that they are having enough? No, it's all about strategy, how you manage yourself. You know you are having 1,000 cedis for your entire month and you want to live lavishly, spending money, buying things, like buying things that probably you can do in the house. One thing, probably friends that know me probably knows that I hardly buy food outside. Just for example, using myself as an example, it's not that I can't use money to buy food outside, but I ask myself, can I equally prepare similar food in the house? If yes, why not? At times, no matter how exhausted I am, I still do come house to the house, enter my kitchen and prepare my meal and then I eat. I can't even remember the last time. The last time I can remember that I used money to buy food outside was this morning when I used my money to buy cocoa because I was from the gym and I'm very tired, like body pains all over. So you have to be very strategic and know how you spend your money and what to spend the money on. I'm using foodstuff because most at times to foodstuff foodstuff that we buy outside, this junk food also take a very huge chunk of our money, of our income that we earn. Yes, food take most at time take most of the money that we earn, and other lifestyle that we can do without. You can decide to buy the food stuff and then brings to the house, cook for yourself some sumptuous meal and eat. In turns, you are saving a lot of money for yourself. You understand? So I've spoken about savings and investment. So one thing we have to take keen interest in, the earlier the better. The earlier you start your savings, the better. When I came to Whole Technical University in the year 2019, I met one guy from Data Bank that introduced me to M Fund. And if not because of this haircut, probably something might be there. But I was scared, and that's one part to how do you react to risk. I've realized that they're just withdrawing or how the money is going, and I have to take it and then send it to a different place. So those are some of the things that probably would have to be looking at. But you have to know yourself how you react to risk. Are you somebody that don't care about risk? But know that even though you don't care about risk, but when you are going to take any risk, it must be a calculated risk. You don't just say that probably I'm a risk taker, so I want to just go in and take any risk no matter the outcome. You know that probably what you are entering into is not going to yield you any income, or it's not going to yield you anything. Your money is going to, you are not going to recover your money. You know, you just have to advise yourself. No one have to tell you that okay, you don't have to invest in that. So going forward, we will look at some of the things, some of the things that probably is a red flag. We know that this thing, we are not even supposed to invest in it, but you spend your money on that, or you want quick money, quick return, and in turn losing your entire money that you even invested in whatever scheme it is. So we also have, I've also spoken about insurance briefly. So for the insurance, we have health. You can insure against your health when you are sick. We have national health insurance, which is currently running. We can insure against disability, sebi when you are probably involved in something that probably you are disabled. You know that probably it's not that you know that, it's just something that you cannot predict. But once a human, these are some of the things that you probably have to insure yourself against. When the time comes, probably who knows? Those things all will be your savior, will be the things that will save you in the future. So we have health, we have disability, we have life. Somebody asked whether we have life assurance or life insurance, whatsoever it is. We just have to take a life insurance and then insure your life in case of any eventuality. And we have renters insurance. Those are some of the insurance that we have to consider as young professionals whilst growing up. We have to take keen interest in, and then uh, take a decision on which one to insure against. And then I touch on retirement also. One day, as since we are alive, one day we are going to grow old and we would have to retire. It depends on individual. Probably somebody will say, I want to work hard, and at the age of 40, I want to retire. 45, I want to retire. 50, I want to retire. Somebody say 60, I want to retire. It depends on how we want to retire. Some people will say, I want to retire at 50. Some people will say, I want to retire at 60.
Hello. Okay. I think it's the network of our guest. We have lost him for a while, but I hope you are all following. Would allow for questions and answers after his presentation. So let's prepare for that. Let's take our notes and write our questions down so that when it is time for us to ask our questions, we can ask. So our guest has joined back again. Let's listen to him as he gets ready to continue from where he stopped.
All right. Sorry for that breakage in the network. So in this all, we just have to plan towards our retirement so that we will not grow and then be struggling with money. No, it's not nice. As young professionals, we have to start now. The earlier we start planning towards our retirement, the better. And one other key thing is in all this that we are discussing, in all this, you must make sure that all the goals you are setting are smart. Yes. So we have setting smart financial goals. At least when you are setting all these goals, how you plan, you want your retirement to be, how you want, how you plan of apportioning your income, how you plan of using your money, you have to note that all this you have to set it smartly. So we have an acronym called SMART, 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 which the S symbolizes specific. So when you are setting, or let's say you are budgeting, you budget towards a specific goal, that this is what you want to achieve at the end of probably a month, 2 months, 3 months, or whatever time frame that you set for yourself. And also must be measurable. Yes. So the measurable is the duration that I've mentioned. You have to measure it. Okay, this is what I'm planning. So I'm setting a retirement plan for myself. In the next 20 years, I want to retire. So how do I make sure that I save some money towards my retirement and that money tends to help me in my old age? You have to set a measurable goal that can equally be achievable, which is the next smart the next acronym, which is achievable. You must make sure that all the goals that you are setting is just something that you can achieve. It's not that probably you are setting a goal that you want to jump from here or you want to jump from the sky to the floor. Is that an achievable or realistic goal? Just normal, you want to jump and then land on the floor feet. It's not achievable. Before you even land, probably you even die on the in the sky. Yeah. So you have to make sure that whatever you are doing is achievable and relevant. Is it relevant? What you are budgeting towards? I'm budgeting towards buying probably a car. Is it relevant for me at this time as a young professional that I want to buy a car? Is it relevant for me? So some of these things help us in planning a successful, having a successful financial plan. And all this must be time bound. And time bound probably would have to have a short term, which is from 1 year to 2 years, a medium term, probably from 3 to 5 years, and a long term, which span from 5 years and above. And there is one particular thing that we make, some financial mistakes that we do each and every day that we have to avoid. Living beyond our means is one of the mistakes that we normally do as young professionals that we are coming up. you live within what you are earning. You know you are receiving 1,000 cedis a month, and you are buying sneakers worth 400 cedis. Is that relevant to you?
No, 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 no. Vixen, is that relevant? Vixen. Okay. I guess to obviously join us back again. But he asked the question, is that relevant? To live beyond our means. Is that relevant? Okay. Let's welcome back our guest. He apologizes for the network hitches. Yes. Mr. Hubert, let's hear you continue.
Yes, my apology.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, so not having any plan for yourself is equally one. And then, hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So, as a human, going for you have to plan for yourself where you are going, or where you are coming from and where you are going. You don't just live in a status quo. You have to have a plan. Most of the times we don't have plan how we intend spending our money and not investing wisely. Earlier today, a friend of mine just called me that he has invested his money in an online business, 1,000 cities, and then he's been asked to purchase something on the website to the tune of 1,000 cities again before they gives him his money back. So what he told me was when you put the money there in the next 30 minutes, you get an interest. Which work is the money doing there that probably you will get that interest on it? And this online businesses, all they are mostly Ponzi schemes that probably have a very lucrative. They mostly have very lucrative interest that will probably appeal to you more that you want to go for it, but you have to be very careful of what you are going for. And it's not something very hygienic for young professionals coming up that we have to invest in, which is currently not the best way that we are doing. I see this number of Ponzi scheme currently in the system, and if care is not taken, you will see that probably most of the youth are going wayward, or probably committing suicide or being depressed based on some of these things. So we have to be very skeptical about some of these things. And then one financial mistakes that you can avoid is impulse buying. You know that you will not use the thing. but you go ahead and buy the thing, and the thing is lying down there for months, years. That money you used to buy that thing, you can equally use it to invest in something, and then when the time comes, you can sell it and make more money. So investment is
Yes, Hubert, can you hear us? Okay, welcome back.
I think his microphone is on mute. Please, someone should alert him.
Yes, yes, it's Martin.
thank you very much.
I think he's trying to use the backup, but he has to manage it so that the sound doesn't reverb. Yeah.
I'm using my phone. So probably we would have to avoid some of these things. And then another thing to equally watch out for is ignoring financial planning. All these things that we are saying, financial planning is very key. Yes, financial planning is very key, that probably you would have to do without. You don't have to do without financial planning. So each and every day, you have to make sure that you plan your life very well. So in all this, you must have an action plan towards achieving all these things that we've stated earlier. You must have an action plan. Please, am I being heard?
Yes, louder.
Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. So you must have a financial plan or an action plan for all this that we've discussed today. So one, you are each and every day you must always track your expenses, even though it's very difficult. You must make sure that you track your expenses as possible that you can. Track your expenses and then build your budget. Yes, you must always build your budget. You know that you are earning thousands cedis, and these are the things that you want to spend the money on, and you must be within budget. And another one is start your emergency fund. You must start your emergency fund. You know, contingencies come, things that you've not even planned for. One day, one way or the other will definitely come your way. To avoid being left like probably you are not getting any help, you must intend plan for all those things by investing in an emergency fund that will save you in times of these contingencies that will probably come your way. And you must pay off high interest debt that probably you accumulate on yourself based on probably your negligence or your lack of planning. So you must pay off all those debts and then immediately start investing your money. Yes, as soon as possible, start investing your money. So to conclude, how you start your life or how you want your future to be, it's based on you, the individual. How you want your retirement to be is based on you, the individual, how you plan towards it, how you spend your money on things that probably you can do without. On this note, I bring this 24th virtual leadership seminar to an end. And if there are any questions, then let's take them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our guest speaker, for a brilliant presentation there. We have a lot of questions, but we'll take Miss Kendall's one first. Miss Kendall, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. President. So, Honorable Hubert, thank you for your great presentation. I think I have taken note of a lot of things. But then I want to find out, as a financial officer or as a professional within the financial space, which investment packages would you recommend to a beginner who wants to start investing small? That's my first question.
Okay. Would Should I answer this one before you come with the second one?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. So, for the individual, I stated earlier that that individual is that person a risk taker, is that person a risk adverse, or the person is medium, probably neither takes risks, neither a risk taker or a risk adverse. Any investment that, as young professionals that we are coming up, any investment that you would want to put your money in, we are all educated. You must make sure that that company that you want to invest in is probably a registered company with the Bank of Ghana, or probably if you want to go further, with the Ghana Stock Exchange. It's listed, it's a listed company. And we must stop this attitude of probably wanting to be rich quick, that you want to invest and then in a year you get 100% increments in your investments or the money that you invest. We have banks, the commercial banks, the known commercial banks that are in Ghana, that you can go. They have a lot of packages based on individual preferences. You don't just go and see anybody at the roadside and say, okay, somebody is selling an investment package, so I want to buy it, I want to invest in it. No, walk into a licensed commercial bank, seek for their investment packages, the one you feel that okay, it's within your means that you can invest in, then you go for it. Sometimes people do buy treasury bills. Now the treasury bills, the percentage is falling. So probably if that's what you want, until recently, we know that treasury bills are, or bonds are non-negotiable. When you put your money in it, you know that this is the amount that you are expecting until recently. So it depends on the individual. You have to make sure that what you are going for, you have a well knowledge about it. And if there is any question, you ask any question that will help you very well before you commit your money into it. Thank you very much. Have I been able to answer you, Miss Kendall?
Yeah, I have a follow up question. The reason why I asked this particular question is because a lot of people keep saying, as young people, we should invest, as young people, we should do this and that. But no one specifically comes out to say that, okay, if you're a young person and you have money, I would advise you to buy shares in Nestle or to buy shares in GCB or to do treasury bill. We want specifics. If you, as a financial consultant, can you give us at least 10 specific investment firms or institutions or organizations that you know that okay, we can actually put our monies into, so that we do not make a mistake? Because like you said, the commercial banks are a lot, from GCB itself to ADB to Fidelity. How am I supposed to know that Fidelity has the best investments? Am I supposed to go around all the banks? The banks are many, I cannot visit all of them, but maybe there is a bank that, because you as a financial expert is preview to, you know that okay, When it comes to investment, they are goods. When it comes to this treasury bill, this bank is better. If you want bond, this bank is this. If you want shares, this company, maybe Nestle is better. If you want this, so I want you to give us specifics. If even if you don't have it today, I want you as a financial expert to come back and then help us in that regard.
All right. Thank you very much. Just to give you some of the investment institutions that we have, just to mention a few. One, we have a Stanbic Bank. They also provide some lucrative investment package for clients. And then Fidelity is also there. They have an investment package. We have Access Bank Ghana, equally have an investment package for clients. Echo Bank is there. Societe Generale. These are commercial banks also. We have Standard Chartered. Since the name has been changed now to ABSA. Yeah, if my memory serves me well. Now ABSA. So for that one, you can decide to go in for an M fund, which is also known as a mutual fund, which is mostly a low risk. As a beginner, I would advise that probably you go, even if you are a risk taker, you go in for an M fund, which the risk is not all that high, but just that the return is low. But it's good to start on that accord with a low risk and then a low income than probably a higher risk and a higher income where unforeseen circumstances then you lose your money. So when you ask me, we have the NIB itself is also there, yes. National Investment Bank is also there that you can equally go. National Investment Bank, for the last time I checked, since governments have a share of 70% in it, that can equally help you. We have UBA, they equally have an investment bank, investment package that you can all go for, and other companies that are listed on the stock exchange that are transacting business on the stock exchange. Let's just not go and see, oh, okay, any company at all. You go, you just type companies listed on the stock exchange. They will give you a litany of them. You chance on any one that probably you read more, or if you need an expert advice, you go in for it. Then they advise you on it accordingly. And then probably some of the investment institutions that probably would have to add to what Miss Kendall asked. We have Agro Cocoa Investments Limited. It's also one of the investment companies that we have in Ghana. Yeah, if I've been able to answer you, Miss Kendall,
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
most welcome.
Yeah, so Vixen, I think Rafi Ghana, Vixen, he has a question before we hear Edward.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Jones. It's actually not Vixen, it's Bruce.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Thank you. Mr. Hubert Agbaxode, thank you very much for your presentation and the ideas that you shared with us. Well, my main question that I wanted to ask is what Kendall asks at the latter end. I mean, the firms that we should actually be looking at, the firms that we should have high hope in, knowing very well that at the end of the day, it's going to get carried. Example is you give yourself data bank. They started very well, and then at the end of the day, this is what we've gotten. And Visin is also, um, is also part of all these unfortunate events. So we should be able to, research very well. Go into them very well, and then take the right step so as we don't regret later. Anyway, I would like to ask one question. There has been I mean, researches and all of that, and there have been talks that there is a connection between one's finance and one's spirituality. I don't know, as a finance expert, do you also, I mean, believe in such a thing? Does it really work?
Ask one's finance and then one's spirituality.
Yes, as in money come, like you attract money in. I mean, when you do some spiritual activities. I said, let me put it that way.
Okay, I get it now. Okay, so for me, I would not say that's entirely true, but we can probably put a percentage to it
Okay.
because one, based on where I'm coming from and things that I've observed for myself, spirituality in what way? Spirituality varies. Somebody's spiritual life is probably at the traditional side, and
Okay.
then somebody's spiritual life is
Okay.
Allah God. So based on what somebody does, and I know people that don't believe in either this traditional religion, neither do they believe in God or Allah, but they are
Okay.
extremely rich
Okay.
and they are working. You see that they are working. They have their own companies and are working. So
Okay.
at times it varies. It varies. So it's mostly sometimes too we can say it's based on how you work
Yeah.
or how you strategize yourself and how you
Okay.
plan yourself.
Okay.
Somebody can spend a number of years in the chapel and still be poor.
Okay.
You get me?
Okay.
Somebody can equally uh, don't believe and be extremely rich.
Yeah.
That's why we say our blessings are not of the same time. Somebody might probably be in that church every day and still be poor. Doesn't mean that person will be poor forever. Some
Definitely.
people some people became very rich at the age of 60 plus when they are supposed to be on their retirement.
Yeah.
When I hear a story of KFC,
Yeah.
if somebody read, probably will know that story.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it depends on individual and what you ascribe to and how you use your money and your time. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And my last submission, not a question anyway. I just uh, in the aspect of all this online investment stuff and all of that. I think it's really draining us, like as youth. In as much as we are all trying to, I mean, escape poverty, it doesn't mean that we should, I mean, follow anything that comes our way. If you don't really have much idea about it, especially this online stuff, we really need to be careful indulging in those stuff. Some of them really comes start very well, and then at the end of the day, by the time it's far far gone. So I think I like us to touch on those aspects. We need to be very very careful when dealing with all those stuffs. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Edward.
Yeah, thank you very much for that presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Edward, let's hear your question. Oh, he's not active. If he's not active, then we'll wait for him to be active whilst we move on with the questions. So, as we wait for Mr. Edward, I think we have other people here who would like to ask.
Yeah, I'm back and sorry for that interruption.
Sure, sure. Yes, any other question? Okay, I'll go ahead and ask my question.
Okay.
Dr.
Okay.
Hubert,
Yes, sir.
as you know,
When you rise to a particular stage in life, people tend to have that feeling of entitlement to your funds. Some people, it makes sense because they have taken responsibility over you, which is not a problem. But the people that appear to have problem with are people who have not done anything in your life, who you don't know anywhere, but they feel entitled to your funds, and then they put all their problems on you. And even if you decide not to pick their call, they'll call with other numbers, and just to avoid the stress, you just give them the funds. But those funds are not budgeted for, because anytime you have to adjust your budget to attend to them, it means you have to postpone an item to the next month. What is your advice on managing these people?
All right. Thank you very much, executive director, for that. Yes, for the entitlement, it's just bizarre to know that probably some people feel that at a particular time that they call you, you are supposed to provide anything that you ask for. And if you couldn't attend to what they are asking for, then quote unquote, you are stingy. But in life, we plan towards everything that you do, and then it's not that you don't have other emerging expenses that you yourself you would want to take. You have a lot of things that you would want to do in a month, but based on the resources that you are having, it will not even allow you to execute all your plans. But you are forced to even push some further. So when things of this nature come and then probably they look like they are supposed to get something, frankly speaking, me, how I deal with those people is a simple I don't have, but it should be said in a manner that probably sounds well. You shouldn't say it in a way that probably the person will feel me offended, or probably kind of insulting. Let me just use, for the lack of better words, just put a nice way of probably handling it, that, oh, my brother, I'm currently down, I don't have that money now. Like the call I had this morning, just out of nowhere, 1,000 cedis, because he invests and they asked him to buy something to the tune of 1,000 cedis. And what's the assurance that when you use that money to want to buy the thing, you even get your money back? To the extent that he's asking me to go to a mobile money that's probably I'm close to and get that 1,000 cedis, and then he will even pay with an interest. So some of these things we have to be very watchful, and then how we approach this. As I stated earlier, most of us bring some of these things to ourselves, and then at times we feel a sense of entitlement on somebody's finance, which is actually not good. So my little advice is, you know, the various people that you have and how you relate to them. That will inform you the kind of the choice of words to give them when they approach you, and you feel that okay, you are not in the best position to help them at that particular material time. Let me use an example. When Salom approached me that he wants money, if I don't have, I know how to put it as compared to somebody who is not much close to me. So we just have to be very watchful of how this thing, so that you know the world is a global village. If you have, fine, you can give, but if you don't have, just find a nice way to tell the person that okay, you don't have. So that's my little advice that I'll give in terms of people that do come in that form. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I have a follow up. The follow up is in the sense that some of these people, let's take it in this scenario. You are not close to the person. He explains that he's sick. And it's not like he asks for any big money. Sometimes 20, sometimes 10, sometimes 50. And he calls every week. Every week, yeah, he calls. And if you don't pick the call, he will
Oh.
call again in the afternoon. He'll call again in the evening. By the time you add it up, the money is getting to 100 or 200 cedis in a month. That is the type of stress that they.
Why do I feel like I know who Jones is talking about?
Seriously, like we want
Let's just keep it
professional
on the
advice from
road.
you on how to handle some of this because like by the time you know you end up have to even sometimes I have to go and borrow to attend to them whilst me and my niece are unattended to. And sometimes I don't know, like I keep on sacrificing. What are they doing for me? Not that I expect anything, but come on. I've not sat anywhere to take responsibility over these people. And then they feel so much entitled that you just answered the question.
Okay, so some of these things we bring probably unnecessary debt to ourselves. We have something called bad debt and a good debt. A bad debt probably you will not be able to recover it, and a good debt you'll be able to recover it. So if let's say somebody that in this scenario that you are posing, the person don't even call you on a regular basis, or you don't chat with the person on a regular basis, but out of the blue you've heard from the person for a very long time, and just some few days the person started calling you. Let's just be frank to ourselves. You are not supposed to borrow money and go and pay for something that probably you can do without. But in a case that you have, you do once, twice. If the calls keep coming and probably the money that the person is coming is not that outrageous that I might probably not be able to pay. I do once, twice. When I see that it's something becoming a habitual for you, excuse me, I'm not going to pick your call again. Yeah, frankly speaking, if it becomes something like regularly, like probably I'm supposed to do that, it's my duty. No. Mm-hmm. It's not going to happen. So we just have to watch these things. If you know that it becomes something of consistent, the consistency at which the person is just doing is just too much. Some consistency there we like it, but the consistency at which the person asks the money, you can decide to tell the person the truth and then bow out. Tell the person that you don't have. And if it's becoming unnecessary, necessarily for you to ignore the call, probably ignore the call. If to the extent of even blocking, probably I know the person will even use a different call number to call. But not to bring those unnecessary debts to upon yourself to the extent that you say you go and then borrow money and pay for something that you can avoid. Mm-hmm. That's my little advice that I'll give. But if other people have something to add up to it, it's a discussion. Now, I will not say I have it all, but if somebody is having something to add up, we are all open. Thank you.
So thank you so much. It's very helpful. I want to follow up before we hear Edward.
Yeah, I think this is something that we have to address genuinely because the entitlement nowadays is becoming just too much. People feel like you have and you don't want to give them. Because I this thing you are saying, if the person is in Youth Impact Parliament, then I know who you are talking about. Because it became like a demand and supply kind of affair. And I told him that if everybody, I told him, imagine I have 100 friends from school, church, YIP, all other places, put together 100. And everybody even asks me for 50 Ghana cedis. How in a month, how much am I going to give out? How much is my salary? How much is my, what's the name? My income. So you see, sometimes when you say that, they go and paint you black as if you're a very bad person. And so I don't know. I think what Hubert has said also counts. But then I think it's high time we learn how to say no. We actually need a training on saying no. We have to master the
Yeah,
courage
yeah.
of saying no, because we
Seriously.
cannot continue to put ourselves on the line for them when we know that it is inconveniencing us. So, Hubert, thank you very much for those submissions. I've also penned them down, and I'll make sure I take them into consideration going forward.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank
very
you.
helpful. Very helpful.
Thank you.
Mr. Edward, I mean, before Mark.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I think Madam Honorable Izzy Kendall was saying something about entitlement, and I would like to just say some few things. And first of all, I think I heard about the investment. We're asking the honorable presenter to tell us the kind of investment to go in for, recommendations and all those ones. Yes, I would have loved him to recommend some of them, but this is the case where investments are more or less like risk. So it is very difficult for somebody to recommend some to you. And in the world that we live in right now, if it does not go well, you come back to blame the person.
Exactly. Exactly.
So at his point, at his level right now, I don't think he is a, a financial guru who has been in the market for long to recommend at this stage. Anybody who is looking for an investment has to do a little bit of sacrifices. Bearing in mind that the interest rate varies from one bank to another. So you must do the calculations. And I think Honorable Adams works with one of the banks. Maybe we could give him the opportunity to tell us some of the investments that they have at their bank, Access Bank, so that members can make an informed decision on that. Now, Madam Kendo, to the entitlements, everybody is feels that you owe them. We have been preaching the message that no, no quotation says the poor will always be with us, and we have to come to terms with that. But nevertheless, the fact that the Bible says that the poor will be with us does not mean that we should always feed the poor. I have learned something from Jesus Christ when he came. He has a lot of people following him, but he was selective in who to help. He didn't help everybody. It is not your duty as a person to be giving money to everybody. If they ask and you don't have it, just like Honorable Hubert said, politely decline it. Because you also have your needs that you have to take care of. And it is part of the financial planning. So every month, if you are a salary earner or you have a source of income that is stable every month or every week, yes, they say they teach us to be charitable. So you must equally have a budget for what you want to give out. So you can apply the first come first serve principle. So far as you have exhausted that budget, that allocation to say those that this is the amount I want to
Okay.
dash out. So I think as part of the financial planning we are looking at, if you believe that you have to be charitable, you have to give out to prevent all these entitlements and finance is something that you don't have to add too much emotion to it, or else you go and empty your account for somebody,
Mhm.
and you come back and then other things that needs those monies, you don't have the resources to embark on them. So if you want to attach too much emotions to financial issues, you are going to always be at the losing side.
Mhm.
So first of all, have a budget allocated for giveaways. Yes, even big organizations do that. That is why sometimes it is advisable that if you want a sponsorship from these established organizations, you go as early as possible because can tell you that they have exhausted their budget for gift or sponsorship. So it is the same thing as individuals. If we have monies that we are not
I think we lost Mr. Edward.
I'm a novice.
Okay. Yes,
Hello.
we are hearing you.
Yes, there's an adage in Ewe that I'm a noviman or yokuji oduagbogbo. Yes, in as much as we agree to some extent to that adage, in riches or at a fortune place that those that wait are beneath you will not enjoy. But the truth of the matter is that if you don't get to the top, definitely all of them will go hungry. If you don't get to the top, definitely they'll go hungry. So you must be disciplined in your finances to get to the top so that at least when you get to the top, you are somehow stable up there. That is when you can bring somebody out or you can feed somebody down there. If all of you are down and they keep pressuring you and you keep adhering to it, it simply means that you are not even financially disciplined. And that is one of the dangerous ways that drains young people their finances. They take responsibilities that are not their own.
Mm.
I remember I had a session with my mentor the other day, and he told me that you don't owe your parents anything. It is not your responsibility to be feeding them. It is good you do that, but it's not your responsibility, and that's the hard truth. They brought you to the world. It is their responsibility to look after you, and when you get something, it is good you give them, but for them to be saying you owe them, he said it is not right. This is not in a way say don't extend a helping hand to parents or family people, but it's not your responsibility. If you also marry and give birth, you have your family members to look after. So it is not your responsibility to be and they are not I and the truth of the matter is that they are not asking, you know. They are not asking, they are demanding. There's a difference between asking and demanding. It's as if they feel that you owe them and you must give them at all costs, even when you don't have it. It is because we have opened the door to them. Little by little, they ask this one, you say, oh, it's nothing, you give them. They increase it the next time they come because they think that they have a backup. But if everybody is supposed to take their responsibility, you will see that everybody is somehow free from certain things. So I think it depends on the individual that is giving the thing out, that is necessitating the idea of their entitlement. And please, this is what I have practiced. If you ask me 10 cities, I'm not going to give you all the 10 practice for some time. If you cities, trust me, we must share the responsibility. I'm not going to give you all the 10 cities. Is it that I give you, I ask you how much do you have? If you have what you have, and I feel that I can give you the top up, that's fine. But to come empty handed and you don't have anything, it means that you are not ready. You will come again when the same thing happen again. So at least you must be able to have something when you are going to somebody. I don't go to people to ask for favor. Everybody needs help. I don't go to people to ask for favor without having anything at hand. If the money is 10,000, I tell you maybe I have 2,000, I have 3,000, so that to show that I have committed myself looking for it, and I have external assistant. But if the person come empty-handed, guy, it's best you advise the person that you cannot give all, because if you give all, if you have opened the floodgates for them to have it. I was having a conversation with the president the last time towards the purchasing of the machine. The first question I asked him is, how much do we have? how much is left. And immediately he said we were having 1K. Some people have sponsored us with 1K, and then all those ones. You see that the pressure reduces. Everybody can rally around and give. But if the person come empty-handed, you also think about the amount involved. And it is not financially advisable to give all. Just like the saying goes,
Hello, I can't hear anything again. Am I the only one?
Nah, he lost his network a
Yeah,
little bit.
me too. I can't hear anything again.
I think he lost his network a little bit.
He has lost its network signal.
I think it is a network problem.
Hmm. Uh, he was actually giving a very good contribution.
Yeah, very, very.
Mhm. Should we wait for him or we should listen to Mark?
Let's go on with Mark. When he comes back, we can.
Oh, okay. What's up for Mark?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Um, Thank you, Executive Director, and thank you, Honorable Hubert, for the presentation. I was following and I was enjoying the tidbits, and I would like to add up, especially when Executive Director made a point on him going out to solicit funds to help someone since he was not in that position. Yeah, sometimes it is true you want to look generous to others, but don't look generous and come and be in debt. When you are in debt, who clears your debt out for you? So sometimes, as being said, you try as much as this young age to set limits for yourself. If your salary, you earn salary, make sure you have allocations for your salary. This is going here, this is also going here. So should somebody come out of the blue that I need help, oh free, you can tell the person I can't, and you have no apology or anything to owe that person, because as much as we can, everybody have to plan for him or herself. You have things you have to cater for. As a human being, you ought to have some emergency fund somewhere should unforeseen circumstances come. You cater for it. Should you use that money to cater for somebody else? When your emergency comes, what do you do sometimes? And I've realized that I'm causing more harm myself than good. I go all the way to sometimes even borrow funds to help people. And later on, me myself, I become indebted and have to go and look for those funds to clear those debts. Because sometimes I'm a type that,
Hmm.
I don't know, sorry to say, I can't go and be stressing you for money. Even though if it is my money, the way I'll go and be asking for the money always from you, I don't know how to do it.
Exactly.
So when I give, when I
Yeah.
give out, when I give out, I take out my mind that I've given out. If you come back, give to me, it's fine. But I have to. It got to some time. I've realized that I'm doing myself more harm than good. So sometimes I have to. I have learned to say no after some time. Yes, if I don't have, sometimes I might have. But I have to look forward to myself and cater for myself. So I can have sometimes, but I'll tell you I don't have because I don't want to. So you don't feel like when the person sees you, it jays eye as if you and the person. So in order to do away with all those things, plan for yourself. Don't go beyond that. There are things that you've prepared for yourself, your clothing, everything, your family, your emergency funds. Don't go beyond that. If you go beyond that, you cause more harm. Money can cause misunderstanding between you and somebody in the next second. So be very, very careful how you handle your financial instances with people. If you don't have, tell the person you don't have. If you have, okay, I'll give you. Because I could remember an instance, somebody that I do help the person. If the person don't have, I do help. So I was preparing for exams. I was learning that money. So the person called. He needs 300 cities urgently for something. I was like, I don't have. Because I was learning, me as I told the person I don't have. I hung up the call. Later on, he called me for help, and yeah, I'm not ready to help. I was like, but I told you I don't have. What else do you expect me to do? And I'm even preparing for exams. So I told you I don't have. So there's nothing beyond that. So today, I've turned into the enemy of the person because I was not able to
Wow.
give out that 300 series. Yes, I was not able to give out that 300 series at that particular time. And maybe sometimes too, should it be that I was not preparing for exams, I might look for adverse ways maybe to help. But because I'm also preparing for exams, I don't want to put any stress on myself. It have end up making me to be an enemy of someone just like that. So please, let's be very careful with the way we try to help people, and that is it. Then let's prioritize our planning at youth of this stage. If you plan well, isn't that we can make better decisions for ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take the follow up from Kendall, then we continue with Edward.
All right, thank you very much. So that's exactly what Les has said. So I think all we have to do now is give what you know that if someone does not return, you'll be okay with. I think that should be our norm now. If you ask me for 500 cedis and I know that okay, if I give you 100 cedis and you don't even bring it back, it wouldn't bother me. Then that is fine. Because I've realized that some of our colleagues, our friends, our family, they are taking advantage of us. Why am I saying this? They come and borrow money from you and tell you they will give you. They don't bring it back because they know you are the type, like blessed, that will not follow up on the money you have given to them. And so then it becomes like a norm. Anytime they need someone to borrow money from, they come to you, give it to them, you don't ask. You give it to them, you don't ask. So I think going forward, what we can do is what you can give, and then if the person doesn't even return it, you are not bothered with. I think that is how far we should go. And I think now we should cut down the cost. I don't know, but my 2025, I told myself that I'm going to do something low expectations, tit for tat. I don't expect anything from anybody. I recently posted on my status, even became an argument that I don't have anybody I run to when I am in need. But it looks as if everybody runs to me when they are in need. Who do I then run to when I am exhausted? So now it's going to be like, I think this generation should start something like a tit and tat something, because even the Bible says love your neighbor as yourself. The Bible never said less than yourself or more than yourself. The Bible said like yourself. It means that what you cannot sacrifice for yourself, what you cannot do for yourself, don't do for others. So I think, like everybody has said, let's stop squeezing ourselves for others. Let's do what we know mutually we are okay with. Let's do what we know we can, whether it comes back or not, we can we will not complain or anything. And I think maybe we'll be on the right path. Today's discussion has been a very good one. So
Yeah,
I
thank
think
you.
I'm enjoying it.
Before Senator Edward speaks, Speaker just posted something in the income message. Some people will come and borrow from you and not touch their savings. You use your savings to help them. Senator Edward, let's hear you. Oh, true. You break your accounts for them, as you said, as Mark said, as Edward said. They will not touch their savings, their contingency. While they expect you to go to your contingencies to attend to them. Yes,
They never have money. Oh. I know people who have never had money before. They always don't have money. Hey.
yeah, Senator Edward.
Yes, so I think this one is not it's not a presentation. I think everybody is sharing their financial knowledge about this thing. It has been a fruitful conversation so far. Even though my network is worrying me, the little that I am hearing is of great benefit. Um, for me, you see, finances. Somebody said to me that money is next to oxygen. After God, who gives us the oxygen for free, the next thing is money. That is why you see people fighting and killing for it. And just like we know, the name is currency. And if we don't manage it well, it flows. And current flows, you understand? So the major thing that drain most young people is the notion that nobody knows tomorrow. It's a very dicey statement that we have to look at, especially when it comes to financial wise. Nobody knows tomorrow, so you have, yes, nobody knows tomorrow. And that religious belief that you have to help the person, you don't know who you are helping today, and all those ones. Yes, there is a place for help. There is a place for help. I also believe in helping because I'm a beneficiary of helps, benevolence of people. But the Bible said, in everything, get wisdom. In all your gettings, make sure you get understanding. The understanding of the thing and be discerning enough to know the kind of people to help. You can do that for the first time, the second time, the third time. Be discipline yourself and say no. Just like he has to say no. And just like I said earlier, please, young people, let's have budgets for what we can give out. Because you also have projects. And I believe when I didn't join the conversation early, but I believe that Honorable Norbert, is it Norbert? Hubert will tell us what is financial planning. Our long-term goals are very important to us. We also want to take our families out of poverty. We also want to help and make impact in the lives of people. It is a long-term goal that we have set for ourselves. But if we pay attention to these distractions, they are distractions that will bring us back or make us stand at a standstill that we don't even get the head of why we are living. So please, I'm stressing on this. Let's get a budget for donations. And Mark will say that if I give you, I give you, and close my mind that it will come or it will not come. If you can do that, yes, that is fine. You call it charity. You call it charity. So you have budget for the charity aspect of your life, which I advise that you do. But immediately it is finished. It is finished. Even God knows that that is what you said you will give, and you can't give more than what you have. If I have budget for 50 cedis as charity, that ends it. If it is done, it is done. I think this will reduce the kind of frustration you go in. And please stop adding emotions to finances. See, let me give you a typical example. No matter what the problem is, no matter who you are, if you go to the hospital, that's why sometimes I see the doctors as some people that are financially disciplined. Before you talk they will start any operation or any surgery, the money must touch down. The money definitely must touch down. No emotions attached to that policy. So you must have a policy that guides you, that protects you, that makes you feel confident in yourself, that gives you that kind of financial decisions that you make. That policy, a personal policy for financial planning, not that you have because you think that you are having it, you are giving, so you keep having it. The truth of the matter is that all those people that we see that they give out of the abundance,
Mm.
not whilst you are also struggling. So please, let's have that kind of principle of or policy that guides us. I'm stressing on this because I know the frustration. I understand the frustration Kendall is coming from. The entitlement is just too much on this street that people will just think that because you are wearing good clothes, you are okay, you don't have problems, so they can come to you at any time. And I recommend that we listen to this man. He is a man of God. He preached about financial management. No, he called it wealth management. The name is Big Smack Tudor. I think he taught this some years ago, 2007. But that message is a very powerful message that I recommend that we listen to, pick some lesson out of it to guide our financial journey as we grow together. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Senator. Please, in a few moments, we'll have the guests to give the closing remarks. And so much knowledge has been shared today. That is very helpful. Uh, I think I also want to add a touch before the guest speaker gives his closing remarks to close us. I think one of the things that we can also take is that, as you said, all of us are alike in this particular circumstance. When you give, it is very easy because you are not expecting a payback. But when the person, some of them, they say it as, they want it as a loan. And then because you take it as a loan, there is an expectation. But it's just easier if you see even those loans as given so that you reduce the pressure on yourself. And I think we have to consider that. I myself will consider that so that I take it as I'm not giving a loan. Maybe there should be threshold for loans. If it is that so relevant, there should be a threshold for loans. But anything below that threshold is being considered as giving. Thank you very much. Our guest speaker, Honorable Hubert Agbaxode, your closing remarks, some 15 minutes, and then we close this session. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Executive Director. Yeah, and then I will thank honorable members and senators for their add up. And I say we've all learned one thing or the other today. And then somebody said, even the banks, if you don't go within some particular time, and probably you go before their budget is being prepared, they'll tell you their budget has already been prepared, and then nothing can be done. Probably you have to come next year. So we have to be taking clue from some of these things. And then also the hospital issue. You know that probably the person is sick and on the verge of dying. But when the money doesn't come, you don't see that that person is being attended to. We all need this kind of financial discipline, how we would have to be disciplined in terms of finances in our daily lives. It's not that you have in abundance, but some people, when they come for help, you know that definitely one way or the other, when this person comes to ask for a help, definitely that person is going to pay you back. You know how that person is. But some people, you don't have to be told that this person will not pay you back. So if that person comes in the form of asking for a loan, and you have probably you want to dash the money to that person, that's fine. You can decide. Some people, probably if I have money and they say they want some money, somebody asks, let's say 200 cities. Sometimes I say, okay, I have 150 to give you or 100 cities to give you. That's fine. We have to watch all those things, and going forward, we have to be telling the truth to these people that It's not that we have in abundance. It's becoming some way. Sometimes when I go out for a program or we go out for a sitting, I take pictures and I put on my stats. People see and already they say, "Oh, it's all rosy for me."
Bailing.
Meanwhile, I'm just managing myself. It's all about planning. Sometimes some of the things cry. It's my dad that even sent me the cloth, and I only pay for sewing. So
Laboro, laboro.
my dad sent me the cloth, and I take it to the tailor or the designer to design the dress for me. And somebody will feel like, oh, I'm having fun. And at times it's even becoming some way that how I want to feel free and then put on my status or
You can't. Oh.
it's kind of restricting. It's very restricting because the last time I went to the tailor,
Mm.
hey, Hubert, when you post this thing, people will say that, oh, you are having money, oh, golf is for the rich. Based on the comment or what people do, we are now restricted to how we live our life out there, and which is not actually the best. It's now restricting your freedom of living how you want to live your life. So going forward, I will entreat each and everyone, probably if that person also take keen interest in his or her finances well, I'm not sure that person will be that coming to you, Honorable Jones stated. So we just have to be disciplined. When you have, you have. When you don't have, you don't have. Let's be true to ourselves and be true to the people that are even entering our DM and then demanding for money. As if probably they sponsored you throughout your entire journey of education, and now that you are getting some peanuts, then you are supposed to be accountable to them.
Odogum.
No. So I think that's all. A lot has been said today, and then to
Oh,
conclude,
oh, please feel free.
this
We have an additional 10 minutes to give a closing remark. So feel free and ground and climax the entire presentation.
oh, okay. So for the somebody also asked whether some of the investment packages I can mention them. No, what's the name? Senator Edward, and you even asked uh right honorable speaker, since he's working, probably he might not have that fair idea, but well, he might recommend someone to you. But it depends on individual preferences whether to go for an M fund, which is a mutual fund, or an ARC fund, or an Edu fund. We have a lot of them with their interests and their risks that they are associated with. So we have to check all this. Let's take a keen interest in all this, read more, and let's it not be that, Hubert, you recommended this to me, and as somebody stated, you recommended this particular package to me, and it has not yielded anything for me. So I've not done due diligence to that investment advice that I'm supposed to give the person. No, for investment, anything can happen. That's why it's advisable that as a beginner, you go for a low risk investment as a beginner. You don't want to become rich overnight by losing all your income. It's not people that make it, they didn't take just a month or a year to become rich. No, it's a drastic process, and we have to be very intentional about our finances if we want to retire early or retire with a huge sum of money or a lump sum of money. It's an individual decision that we have to make at this early hour. The earlier the better. The earlier we start investing, the better for us. And probably gone are the days we hear stories of some players, some footballers that they've not invested their money, they've not used their money well. Probably in a over you've used the money on ladies or probably some things that you are not even ideally supposed to use it on. And the time that probably your friends are living their dream life, then it becomes an envy that probably when you approach them for money. Mm-hmm. When was that? I've heard just Shatawale saying something. When your friends are working their ass out from Monday to Friday, you are somewhere or you are sleeping. And when Friday evening comes and they are out buying stuff, chilling, and they didn't include you, then it becomes something like the friendship, they've isolated you, or you'll be saying all manner of things about them. Let's take our life seriously in terms of our finances, because to be financially disciplined, it's not easy. It's not easy. We have to take that drastic measure by making sure we plan towards our life, we budget well, we track our expenses day in, day out. Things that probably we don't need, it's not a need, and you don't want it now, just do away with them so that probably you can save that money for emergencies that would come tomorrow or tomorrow next. Those debts, by going to borrow money and then give to somebody, it's not ideal. You are collapsing yourself. You are collapsing yourself. You can do away with all those things just by a simple saying no to that person that counts. You know that okay, this person can be there is no way he or she is going to refund you that money. And the relationship, right? It's hardly the person even checks up on you. Out of the blue, the person even just started calling you and start demanding for money. It's not that the money is just sitting down in the account idea like that, but there are plans for it. So for me to conclude, let's start investing towards our future. Then when you say the future, it's not that the future is say tomorrow, no. The future starts now, and we have to make that conscious effort by investing into our future, by taking that retirement plan, by taking that insurance to insure our life, our properties, by taking any measure that probably will make your life very comfortable for you. You have to make sure that you take those things very seriously that can help your life when you are growing, so that when others are buying the Benz, the Bugatti, and the likes, you can also just close your eyes and then take money and buy those things without any pressure, without any hindrance. On this note, I thank you for the opportunity to give this presentation at the 24th Virtual Leadership Seminar, which is organized by the Youth Impact Movement and its affiliates. Thank you very much, Executive Director, for this opportunity. His Excellency Jones Senanu Amogashi Viglo, and then all honorable members and senators on the call, and other people that are currently on the call that are also not part of the movement. I thank you all for this time and the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Guest Speaker, for your brilliant submission. It has unearthed a lot of issues bothering members. that I think it has been really beneficial for us to do this. I would want to proceed to give my closing remarks and close, but I have my colleague presiding member here that I think is just honorable to hear a closing remarks from him before I proceed to close this session. Mr. Speaker, please let's hear short remarks from you, and then we'll proceed to close the session. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Today I didn't mean to speak. I was just doing all the listening, but since I've been called upon, I have to deliver. So the session has been very insightful and hearing diverse thoughts and issues that is very relatable. Oh God. See, I remember even recently, the original minister inaugurated a committee in his office and we took pictures and he posted it on his Facebook page. All of a sudden, your old friends that don't check up on you, people from different places, you see, you get call, right now you have money. Please help
Honorable,
us.
honorable.
Oh no, are we?
So they will be asking you for money. Some will tell you about their school fees. Some will tell you about the way they are sick, they can't afford medication. Some will tell you about how they can't afford food and stuff. And some to their gas will finish all of a sudden. It's all part of life. And we all
Hey, can I all break what I speaker?
so the issues raised are very relatable and it goes on in our everyday life. So I just say we have learnt a lot. We should. It's not that we are stingy, no, but we should be conscious on how we spend our money, and we should plan for the future. So with this, I thank you all for joining the session.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I'm glad I allowed you to speak because clearly all of us here have now become public speakers. And our friends think that when you show on an honorable member's profile, it means you have made it in life. I'll just end it there. We'll continue the rest later. I think we should consider another virtual seminar on how to get rich because it's important that we retire as rich men. We cannot retire and then be on a pension. Is it a pension scheme or something like that, which is just I think it's 2/4 or 2/6 of your salary? No, we need to retire as correct Odogu, not the fun one, the one that will be giving fans Odogu. No, correct Odogu that Charlie, even after you have helped all the people who come into your DM disturbing, that thing is just peanuts. Like you have like 3 billion US dollars in your account. After satisfying all the helps, is there some 500,000 Ghana cedis that has left? That is the stage you want to get to. So let's consider who can give us a lecture on how to get rich or like how to become a worldly Odogu, correct one, not black magic. So let's consider that. On behalf of Youth Impact Movement and the Executive Board, may I thank our 24th guest speaker who has appeared to deliver this presentation. And I must say, I'm very happy that we have not bounced on our own members. All of us here are rich in knowledge and we deserve to enjoy from that knowledge you have. So as of now, the virtual leadership seminar series continues among members of Youth Impact Parliament. As I've already stated, anyone who is interested in presenting to us should just chat me with a topic and then propose a date and then we'll fix a date. Tomorrow we'll be having our 25th edition, which will be done by Bryce on Vixen, who is the managing director of the Vixen Hub. At the same time, 6 p.m. Let's try and then join and then enjoy the beat that he has for us. Thank you guys very much. Let's end with a closing prayer. Father Lord, we thank you for this day. As today's discussion has been very fruitful, we ask for your blessings and then grace to be able to abide by this in order to be financially disciplined. As you have already commanded, by your commands come with great responsibility. We ask for thy guidance so that we will become that worthy soul that you have destined for us. Thank you. Amen.
Amen.
Well, members, good night.
Amen. Good night.
Yes, I know you.
Yeah, good night.
I hope you have fun.
Oh, before you people go, you people should come and pay collection.
Collection for me.
Nakemo.